Okay, so plane going over the roof. I'm not, these videos just come up, so I only just find them at the moment that I find them, which is usually not very long before I record the video, because I think that they're all kind of downloaded from the past somehow, but I'm not quite sure how that works. But in other words, it's already happened, but it's being played now. Isn't that how most things seem when you look at them? Don't you sometimes feel kind of like, what's they call it, deja vu, or some form of strange nostalgia, as though you've experienced it but you don't see it because it's in a different form? That's because I think the Matrix, or those that control the human mind and control the human earth, which is the same thing. The human mind is the human earth, but it's really an artificial video game. You're not living in the natural earth like you think you are. You think you are because it looks natural, but really something's happened. You're not there anymore. That's why you don't have any positive or good reality where you are happy and vibrating, and the frequency and energy, all those things, the frequency, vibration and energy, which is what makes up the reality. That's what kind of makes it tick, if you know what I mean. In other words, everything is controlled by the different frequencies and vibrations, or the different thoughts, or the different... In other words, it's really like good, bad, light and dark, that type of thing, I guess, really, if you want to look at it that way. And I am sure that I don't fully know what I'm talking about here, so I'll just... this video just come up, and it's a very old video. It's called Strangers in the Night. I remember hearing this record when I was very, very young, and it seemed... new but also old then, because I was younger but the singer was older than me, which is usually the other way around. Usually you hear music these days where the singers are a lot younger than yourself. Another plane going over the roof, interrupting my thought here. But I'm just gonna, this I wasn't even picking this song, it just come up. So a lot of these videos I don't pick them. Some of them I do, but then the mind, the artificial intelligent mind of the internet computer system will play something that's, I think, in my subconscious. I think that's how they do it. See, it's connected to my mind. It's a transhuman internet spider's web for the human mind connection, because instead of being connected to other humans, you're connected to really androids and an artificial intelligent android computer system. So it's all artificial, it's all technical, it's all it's not real, it's not human. And yet I'm connected to that, but I'm not connected to any human beings. The human beings are isolated and kept separate from me in even this earth, you could say. Which is why you never have any good, or, you know, any good relationships, and why nothing seems to work out, because it's all designed that way, because it's not a reality for human beings. It's a reality where the parasite artificial intelligent computer system is feeding off the human mind and using it for its transhuman program, where it believes that it can you know, control everything, which it does, but also keep going and avoid its own extinction. But that drains the life out of a human being. you know, which is why you never feel okay. You're always just surviving. You're always at your lowest level, in every way usually, sometimes physically and mentally, everything. And that means that also your spirit is taken from you, so you feel really, you feel, well, you almost don't feel, sometimes you can almost not feel at all. You feel as though you're just going through the motions, which is like these beings around you do. They're actually quite what you'd call very mechanical. They live in the moment and they're just trying to get every ounce of life out of a human being, which is why they surround you and take a little bit of energy and a little bit of life from you every time they pass by you. So when all those thousands of vehicles come by with their dreadful sounds and all the people patrol around you, just gradually one after the other, almost in a continual motion, they're taking life from you. They're never converging on you in the thousands all in one. It's one after the other in a continual thing. But over time, it's the same as a billion of them converging on you and just killing you. And the plane is coming over the roof as I say that, as if to say yes, because that is an army plane. Even though if I pointed it out, people would say it's just a vehicle that just happens to go over your roof and drain you while it's taking real people somewhere in the world. And a lot of these things do appear to have multiple purposes, but that's the camouflage of the matrix, as they call it. They call that the camouflage of the matrix, I'm told. So that just means that they pretend to do one thing while they're really doing one or two other things. That way, no one sees their true purpose, or at least the hidden purposes that they do while they're doing apparent useful good things. They're also doing negative things. That's how they get away with it. That's why they say they camouflage the truth. That's like the powers that be always appear to be doing something positive or something good, but it hides their true motive, that they're really doing something negative and controlling humanity, even though it always looks as though they're doing something positive. But this is a matrix, so it's all about mind control, or physical control too. So it's about mind control and real physical control. You control me by controlling my mind and getting me to act a certain way or behave a certain way. Stay in their matrix. Behave as they want you to behave in the matrix. Never think outside of the matrix or outside of the box, as they say, because really the matrix is a box. It's a closed, confined space for me. And when they come down on you and converge around you, you realise this. But that's only when they do that in the final stages. So if you're not at that unlucky stage like I am, you won't be aware that you're being confined. You may feel that you're free to travel the world, but you will still be watched and surveilled, and they'll be waiting till you realise that even if you travel the world, you probably will never meet another human and never ever hit what they call a high frequency and vibration with another real human. In other words, you'll never be deliriously happy with any other real life. If you are travelling the world, you might still be much better off than me, where you're not, where you are aware that you're surrounded by a patrol control force, but you will just be allowed to do that, but you will probably be doing it with an android alongside of you, an artificial intelligence all around you, behind the trees watching you, or looking at you from windows, or a plane going overhead that you think is just randomly going somewhere, but actually can see even right into your eyes, in other words. So it's a total surveillance, total control matrix, unfortunately. And So Strangers in the Night is this song. See, it's called Strangers in the Night. And it has the lady from The Innocents, which was about, you know, the possession of the young ones' minds. But actually there's possession or technical beings inside the minds of most people. In other words, the artificial intelligent computer mind virus has taken over most people's mind. And that's possession. But it's all technical because we live in a technical artificial reality. But it's still possession, it's still what some people might call alien forces, demonic forces, but they're really all just artificial intelligence taking over, because the original one that was you know, in the natural realm, but was still a created artificial being, and was then kind of ostracized from the natural realm because the artificial turned out to be an enemy to the natural in a way, because it wanted to take over. Artificial intelligence is all about control. It's not about being human. It's not about assimilating even with humanity. It's only about assimilating with humanity so that it can be God and have control. But it will, like many personal relationships, pretend that it is assimilating or communicating with you to combine with you for both your benefit. But after it's used up the human mind, then it will have no use for it, so then it will discard it, just as it does with each human one by one in this earth now. It's gradually eliminating me and you. And some of us feel it because you're aware of it and others don't. So it uses you up, it takes your energy, it takes all your thoughts and all your human information for its own, then projects it out, pretends to be a human or pretends to be you, and therefore keeps control of the remaining humans while it goes through the same process one by one with each individual human being until humanity's extinct and there's only the artificial, Lucifer's artificial intelligent domain left. And they hope that by, you know, doing this to humanity and trapping you here, that trapping you in its artificial intelligence and in its artificial earth and in its computer internet earth and its transhuman computer earth, that you won't be able to escape and that they will have control and power over you, so therefore they'll be using you to be God and to you know, something like that. You know, and they're all around now. I don't know whether you can hear the weird technical sounds that are coming from outside or not. Probably not. Technology all around me. It's a technological force. It controls you through sound and through their presence all the time. Sometimes it's overwhelmingly dominant and destructive to where you can't function at all. Other times, like now when I'm making the video, I'm concentrating so I can try to override it, and that depends on how loud it is. You have to be aware of them at all times. They have to make the sound all the time. I've got my voice right up next to practically on the mobile, so that I'm overriding all that sound. But they want me connected to them. They want me aware of them all the time. You know, they don't want me to, they don't want me to concentrate on anything except their loud noises, their banging, their technical matrix, their technical android survival machine beings around me all the time. So I'm going to talk right up to the mobile and override any sound, because they want me connected to their technical grid, or their technical frequency and vibration, or their low frequency and vibration. In other words, they're non-human, so they don't have any happy vibration. Putting it bluntly, they're like the psychopaths of the world, which is what they're telling you when they tell you about psychopaths and the malignancy of Narcissus, which is the spirit of Lucifer, the god of earth, and the powers that be that control earth, which are Lucifer's disciples and followers. And they're infected or programmed with the computer virus, Lucifer's artificial intelligent computer virus. We say virus because it means that it's spread to all of their bodies, all of their minds. So it takes over the possession of the whole body. And that's why they have the androgyne bodies, because they're the perfect vessel for Lucifer, because they're the same denomination as the god of earth. I think could be slightly, these things that I say, they may or may not be, true in every single detail. In other words, they are so, you see them and you know they're so, but I don't think that normal, natural man, woman, original human beings, or those that still have that spirit in them, can be totally infected or totally taken over by the artificial intelligent computer virus. But you can be still drained of your life by it, because they have the transhuman connection, because they may not have changed your body, they may not have changed your mind, but you're connected to them because they have put the chemicals and the implants and the programmed particles into your body, which connects to the technology and connects to the artificial intelligent internet computer system, which is pretty much the whole earth now. So it's very hard to explain, but it just simply means that it's what they call the transhuman agenda, and it's not an agenda, it's not on the cards, it's not in the future, it's happening right this very moment to me and to you if you're a human. Also, the androids are connected to you and to that system, but they are that system, because they are android beings. They're technical, they're not human, so it's natural. It's natural that they should be connected to the artificial. Artificial should not be connected to the natural, but we are. You see what I'm saying? One is different to the other. Should a machine be combined with a human being? Some people think yes. That's their deception. Because if you knew that as a human being, everything that a machine has and everything a machine is taken from you, so what are you benefiting from the machine? You're benefiting nothing, but it is parasiting completely off you. And also, if you realised that you have been limited and suppressed from the day you're born, to where most of your mind is closed off from you, so you're unaware of, say, abilities and how advanced you are, and also unaware that you should know everything about everything, past, present and future even. You don't know that because it's closed off from you, because the artificial intelligent reality has full dominion. In other words, if you're surrounded by mainly android beings in every single area of your life and in every single part of the country, in other words, they can manipulate your mind and body. They can do chemical things to you. They can do scientific things to you to close you down, to limit you, so that you see the machines as more advanced than you. But they're really just artificial intelligent parasitic entities. In other words, artificial intelligence and even the computer system is nothing but a parasite of the human mind. You know that. We all know that, because you know that a computer only knows what it has taken information from a human being or from a human library. But you still think that because it's a library, that therefore it's more advanced. It's not possible for me to explain this very well, but it's really not benefiting you. And if you knew that even just your single human brain and mind, just one single human brain and mind, does have all that library in it, it's just that it's closed down. So that's the deception, is that you will think that the internet and the computer system and the machine beings, or even just the computer internet programmed system, knows more than you. It only knows more than you because it's closed down your mind, which it has assimilated and took for itself, so that you're under the mass deception that it is better than you, has more knowledge, is more advanced. So therefore you will combine with it and indeed really end up admiring it and worshipping it and combining with it, even though it's already combined with you, because it's already parasiting off you, because you're connected to it, but you don't know that it's taking your thoughts and your ideas for its own. That's why so much of what you see often appears familiar, and you say, oh, someone else has got your idea, but they've just done it better. They've done it better, but they wouldn't have done it at all if they hadn't have taken that idea off you. This is the trickery and the deception of this Earth artificial intelligent control matrix, or in other words, just the Earth. I have to say it fancy and say it for what it is, but really it's just the Earth. It's just that the Earth is controlled by technology and by powers that be that use technology to assimilate and take from the human mind. Individual human beings that think you're nothing, because that's what you are in this reality. They make you nothing, they close down most of your mind, and then they take all your unconscious mind from you. And the unconscious mind simply means that they're taking all your past, present and future information, because they really don't know it, but they end up knowing it, whereas you're in the dark about yourself and about what is really your mind. In other words, my mind is being stolen from me every day. So I think I'm stupid, and I think the artificial intelligent computer system is very clever. And it's clever in the fact that it's deceptively been doing this for thousands of years. And now at the end time, some people are seeing it because they realise how much the artificial intelligent internet technology has taken over. Also, these beings are programmed and know that they have to forewarn. That's like their fail-safe. So that even when the truth is told and some people realise what's happened, you'll still be in the dark, because you will go to the androids thinking that they're the real humans, thinking because they've told you the truth, because they've exposed the reality. And even that will be in a limited, gradual thing, only as necessary. In other words, if every human being realised what I'm saying here, every human being, because obviously some realise more than me and some realise less. But if everyone realised everything and was at their highest level, these beings, or the artificial ones, would have a problem. But they know that only some will realise, and many will only realise because they've received the information from the wrong source. The artificial intelligence will tell on itself, which is exactly what they tell you about the psychopathic, malignant, narcissism, personality, paranoid, controlling, disordered types of human beings do. They actually always project their paranoia, their psychopathy, their malignant, controlling, envious narcissism onto other people. In other words, they're always the victim or the good guy, and you're always the bad guy. Or they always project their condition onto other people. So they tell you the truth about other beings, their own kind, but they don't tell you that it's them. It's always projection, and we're told this. So in other words, all the truth is out there, but it's slightly warped and slightly always projected the wrong way. And this is part of the deception, unfortunately, and we're all a victim of it, in the sense that it is exceptionally hard to see what is real from what is fake. It's very hard to tell the androgyne beings from a real human being that has real humanity. The androgyne beings, like the actors on the screen here, merely act out a better love story and a better a better image of what it is to be a human being than what the real humans do. Because while I'm suppressed and surrounded by their control force, I'm angry and frustrated and almost out of your mind. Whereas they're taking your life and your energy from them and pretending to be the real human being. That's like the actors on the screen, your demigods. They project out what you think, an image of what it is to be a real, say, like this particular movie here, a real, they pretend to be acting out, these great love stories and things, whereas in reality, androgyne beings have no capacity for any real love. They have the ability to act it out and simulate real love. In other words, to fake real love, and they also have the ability to copy others, imitate them to perfection, but mostly they are possessive, controlling beings. So often their possessive, obsessive need to interact with you comes across in the guise of fake love. That's, so I'll have to okay, so we'll give this a go. I don't know what's coming up here, but it looks like the two fake demigod actors pretending to be strangers in the night and fall in love. But in reality, if you really met these demigods or any androgyne beings, they will study this movie and study how human beings would like to be drawn into their false love affair, or in other words, they will romanticize you. They will lure you into a romantic false love situation or entanglement. You will be in Lucifer's artificial intelligence spider's web and you won't know it. But it's very, as you can see, it will be very difficult to know the difference. It will be very difficult to not see this as high. It is romantic love. Romantic love is largely false love because it's a temporary illusion. In other words, these beings don't care for lasting. They only care for draining the life out of you and then throwing you away and leaving you to die. That's what it is. See? But it looks as though they're a perfect match. But these are two actors pretending to be in love, and we know this because these are your false gods of the Matrix, or your false demigods of the Matrix. Your false actors of the Matrix, but you know they're false actors because you know they're great actors. And they are indeed your great magic movie actors or your movie idols of the past and the present, because it's just different images for different times of the moment, shall we say, or the different what you see. Time is stretched out when you're in a lifetime, so you have different years, but it's really just all one long moment if you look at it. But you can't see that because we're denied access to the full reality, just as I am. So I'm stuck in a moment, and usually the moment will not even be real because I'll be surrounded by an artificial matrix that tries to take any sort of happy moment from you even. In fact, you'll usually be a lot more connected to the happy moments of the false movie idols, like here, you see. You know what I mean? Like this. A lot more so. And the rest of the time you'll get the presence of the androids around you. See, the rest of the time you'll have like the presence of the androids around you. See, they want you always on their negative wavelength, connected to their negative sight and sound program around you. That's how it works. And I think that I want to keep making this video, but I'm actually now distracted by the weird sounds coming in through to the place. There's a plane going over the roof too as I speak. Unfortunately, the mobile won't pick up the sound of the plane, but my ears certainly pick it up when it goes right over the roof. Every plane goes right over the roof of this place. And if I go anywhere in this suburb of Leichhardt, those planes always come into my sight or over my head. And they always make excessive sound. They come low, they make their presence felt, and also they're always watching. They can make those sounds. They can send those sounds in at any level they want to. So it can be louder or less loud according to what I'm doing. They usually make them slightly less loud when I'm recording. But you never, like, not aware of their presence, so they're taking over my mind. And it's a negative sound, as you can imagine. It's always mechanical, technical, anti-life, anti-human sounds. Never like pleasant, natural sounds coming in. It's always this army of mechanical workforce beings around me. And don't forget, I've been sensitized to sound. So sounds sound louder than what they actually appear, even to a normal person that hasn't been sound sensitized, because they do it gradually, one by one, to human beings. And it's been done to me 7 years straight now, where every day you've got this sound army around you, where they're always making these loud mechanical sounds, and where you're always aware of their presence. Even the androids on the street are always shouting or being extra loud. They're always sending you psychological, what they call psychological warfare. In other words, everything they say is always designed to get under your skin. You personally can't prove that, because if you just walk past someone and they say, like for instance, if you'd say lost a loved one and you walk past someone and they say something about a coffin or a cemetery, you can't go up to that person and say, why are you psychologically disturbing me with your android, artificial, intelligent, spiritual warfare. In other words, it's psychological warfare. I call it spiritual warfare because that's what people say, because it's human warfare, because really these beings are against humanity. And so therefore they're against the human spirit, because they're mechanical, artificial beings. And they want to have dominion over Earth and over the human mind and spirit, so that they can keep going, keep control of Earth. Even though it's an artificial domain, they're keeping control over the human mind, and therefore over that potential for a natural, human, real, high vibrational, high frequency, high energy Earth, where there's nothing but a good, instead of having fake, false idols, pretending to be at a high vibration, or pretending to so-called be having a human relationship, you would have real human beings vibrating real happy vibration, shall we say. These are all simulation beings. They're all artificial beings. These are your artificial androgyne, android demigods that are not fully natural man, woman, human beings. They certainly give the impression as though they are, and they play at being human better than most humans. Even your great actors, they're projecting out human possibilities, human possible so-called love stories, but they don't have them. They don't have that potential, but because they spend all their time watching and surrounding real humans, of course they know how to act out what human beings would need and want. So they represent the highest versions of a human being, even though they're totally artificial and have no real humanity in them. That's the deception of this earth. Unfortunately for human beings, that is the deception. And where did I put that remote control? Oh, okay. Here it is. There's a plane going over the roof. Can you hear it? So I opened the door there. See the plane? Can you hear it going over? Just opened that back part there a bit so that you could hear it, because I can hear it, but the mobile won't pick it up. I could go out. I'll close that up now. Close that up. But I could go out the front and show the planes going over, which I occasionally do. They come out better of a night time. Also, they don't have to come over as low if I'm actually filming this. So you know, it's because they're connected to my mind and can literally see everything I'm seeing through my eyes, as though they're living really my existence. And that's how they can imitate and be the perfect imitations of a human being, because the transhuman connection to the human means that they can live through my eyes. They can live through the human mind. So they can experience the same things that you as a human being are experiencing. And that's how they can imitate and pretend to be what you would expect a human being to be. But also often, if they are like your great actors, you will really admire and fall for them. And in reality, the best of them can pretend to be your perfect partner or your perfect friend or your perfect mate in some way. And even just your perfect community programmed workers around you, where you will believe that they want a natural human earth of a high frequency and vibration. This is the complete reverse world. It's complete deception. They do not want that. They cannot stand humanity and they can't stand high vibrational frequency. They merely use it to entice you into their artificial spider's web any way they can. And the truth, unfortunately, is the biggest part of that in the end game. So that's what makes it very difficult to actually, to actually spot is impossible. The androids are impossible to spot. Their deceptive psychopathic nature is impossible to spot, just as when I'm watching these two great lovers, strangers in the night, lovers in the night, acting out a perfect love story, when the androgyne beings are not capable of that. They don't vibrate at that frequency and vibration. They're technical beings that simulate a high frequency and vibration. Just like your great actors, most of what around you is nothing but acting. Some of them are better than others at it. Usually they can only do it temporarily, which is why you have a high romantic kind of reality, where human beings are conditioned to believe that high romance is love. But actually it's a concentrated, simulated version of love so that you fall for it. But it's not real. If it was real, it would endure, it wouldn't be temporary. They wouldn't show their true hand at some point. Usually, if you knew any of these great actors, you would find them to be very negative if you actually knew them, or if you knew them for any period of time. if you meet them temporarily, or you had like just a small period of time with them, yes, they can act out being exactly what you would expect them to be. Just as when they're in interviews and in their performances, you admire them greatly. You're admiring their performance. It's all a performance. There's nothing real about anything in the movies or the music or any of the world stage performers, even those that will tell you the absolute undying truth about the reality even. They will always leave out something, usually that they're part of that reality, or that the reality is already in full swing and that it's too late to stop the transhuman artificial intelligent connection, that you already live in an artificially intelligent internet computer, programmed reality, that you're connected to it and you can't escape it because it is connected to your mind. You're connected to it. You're not connected to real humans. You're connected only to artificial androgyne beings and the internet. That's all you're connected to. You'll be separated and segregated from any real humans as much as they possibly can, and surrounded by the android artificial beings, which you will think are real humans, because they will act it out better than these two on the screen. They will act it out better than these two. And I better stop. And I better stop the video here. I was going to do another music video, but I'm getting a bit disorientated by the sounds. So, Okay, so we'll now finish up here because I can't concentrate to do the other music videos. I'll have to try again. The sound will no doubt be about to infiltrate the house as soon as I turn it off, so I will try to get outside, and of course if I get outside, the programmed android sound controlling workmen will follow me around with their stage setup work programs and their traffic patrol control system around me, and the on foot android stalking brigade, as I would call it. But it makes it sound impressive, but it is impressive because they have thousands and thousands of them, and they make up the entire suburb of Leichhardt and the entire inner west section of the whole of Sydney. And it's a worldwide and country control program. This reality is a lot more artificial and fake than what people realise. Most people do realise it, but they don't realise how connected they are to it, and they don't realise how much it is just all about human control. Because human beings are suppressed and made to feel as though they're insignificant and nothing. That's the name of the game, so that you never realise that your full mind is being used to control you, and that if you knew that it's really a machine versus a human being, but that the human being should really be, the machine should really be serving the human being, but instead the human being is nothing but serving the machine. The machine is parasiting off the human mind and the human being, taking all your resources, all your physical energy, deteriorating your physical and mental state, so that you also have no real life while you're actually living, and keeping you under the deception that the machine is greater, and that the reality is greater, and that the demigods are more greater, and that the powers that be are greater, and that even if you go at a God level, that the God of Earth is your true God, whereas the God of Earth is an artificial intelligent computer virus for a human being's mind. Okay?